All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation. CP from KnicksFanTV here, checking in with another quick live stream, quarantine stream. Hope everybody's doing all right wherever you guys are checking in from, wherever you guys are holed up at. Hope everybody is safe and sound with their families. Just a quick afternoon lunchtime stream, no phone calls. Just wanted to touch on two things today, and that is one is Elton Brand. The Knicks are reportedly interested in Elton Brand as their next GM, and another topic is going to be Bobby Portis. Could Bobby Portis be on the way out of New York? So let's get right into it. First and foremost, news just dropped yesterday while we went live that the Knicks were reportedly interested in Elton Brand, who's the current GM of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Elton Brand has been in this job since 2018. Not even 2 full seasons yet. Really just started. He was the GM of their G League affiliate and also had a players development role with the Sixers. So here's 3 reasons why I think this would be a terrible idea. Number one, let's take a look at leadership. And shout out to my guy, Eric Fleming, who brought this to my attention. You know, one of the things that was an indictment on Elton Brand, in my opinion, was Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler came out on the JJ Redick podcast and talked about why he left Philadelphia. And he had some interesting words to say. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you guys right now. For you guys with kids, it's a little bit explicit, so make sure you put the earmuffs on them. But let's hear what Jimmy Butler had to say about his Sixers tenure.
Yeah.
Not just getting traded, but the whole shit in the summer, preseason.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it was difficult. Man, it was so different. And on any given day, me as a person, as a player, I didn't know who the fuck was in charge. I think that was my biggest thing. I didn't know what the fuck to expect whenever I would go into the gym, whenever I go into the plane, whenever I go into the game. I was like, man, I would think I was as lost as the next motherfucker.
Meaning there was a lot of voices.
Yeah. And
a lot of input from a lot of different places.
And just so much going on any given day. I was like, yep, I guess I'm just here to work. I didn't even know who to talk to.
Didn't know who to talk to. Didn't know who was in charge. So many voices. Had no idea what was going on. That was Jimmy Butler's words. Now, we all know Jimmy Butler himself has worn out his welcome with 2 teams already in the last 2-3 years. So maybe, obviously there's 3 sides to every story. And also, you could say that his comments were, if you listen to the podcast thoroughly, he takes a lot of shots at Brett Brown. So obviously a lot of his comments were geared towards Brett Brown. But as Elton Brand, as the GM of the team, that's also an indictment on him as a leader. He was given this job as GM for Philly because of his relationship with players around the league and so on. But, for a player like Jimmy Butler to say that he had no idea what was going on, who was in charge, you're the general manager, and that's a knock. That's a knock. Like I said, you could take what Jimmy Butler says with a grain of salt. Always know there's 3 sides to the story, but I just found that fairly interesting that he would take the Sixers leadership to task. Okay. Secondly, on the Elton Brand topic, let's take a look at the team right now. Philadelphia is a team that went from being close to contender status last season to being the 6th seed in the East. Now there's rumblings again about Brett Brown's future. Now there's rumblings about Ben Simmons' future with the team. Elton Brand is the GM of this team. He inherited a good team with Embiid and Simmons that was filled with shooters. You had Butler, you had Redick, then you traded for Tobias Harris. Good trades. He traded for Butler, he traded for Harris, and he had JJ Redick there. I thought those were good moves. Now, obviously, all 3 of those guys were free agents coming up this past offseason, so it was going to be difficult to retain them. But he ends up losing JJ Redick. He has to end up trading Jimmy Butler because clearly he wasn't happy there. And turns those guys, signs Tobias Harris to a mega deal, and turns Butler and Redick into Josh Richardson and Al Horford. They gave Al Horford a 4-year, $100+ million deal. Al Horford. To me, Al Horford is washed. That's a terrible move. He's clearly not fitting in with this Sixer team. They lost a lot of their shooting, and they're struggling. They are once again struggling. So if you take a look at the team payroll, salute to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. They got $180 million committed to Tobias Harris. Good player, hometown kid. We like him, we respect him. But at the end of the day, you knew they were going to have to overpay to keep him. Yeah, that's obviously the downside of free agency, and we know he's not an alpha guy. He's not an A guy. Ben Simmons, they got a damn near $180 million locked into Ben Simmons. They got $122 million locked into Joel Embiid. Look at this with Horford. 4 years, upwards of $25 million. Oh, good for almost practically 100. And Josh Richardson, he signed for the mid-level for 3 years, and he's got about $20 million. But this is the problem with the Sixers, is that they have no more flexibility left. And I'll give Elton Brand some credit. Listen, like I said, this team is in the process of competing. As you take over for the GM, as a GM, you're going to have to do everything in your power to continue to try to field a contending roster year over year. It's a tough thing. But the Horford move, going to get Josh Richardson, is clearly not paid any dividends. They lost a ton of their shooting in losing Redick and losing Butler. And it's reflective on how they performed this season. Sixers had just not played up to their expectations. And I think a Sixer fan would agree with me. This ain't CashFanTV, but I think they would agree with me. So 1 is leadership. 2 is how he's put this roster together. And so, if you're Leon Rose, it goes into 3, experience for me. Because if you're Leon Rose and you're talking about potentially getting a guy that shakes out of the Sixers after 2 years as their GM, then is he really the guy for this team? We got a lot of work that needs to be done here, folks. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with this Knicks team. We're not Philly. All right, this is not just 1 or 2 moves away. You got to start this thing from scratch. And so we need somebody with experience. Leon Rose has no experience as a president. Elton Brand has little experience as a GM. To me, that's not a good idea. To me, that's a blind leading the blind, and that's more Dolan intervening. To me, I don't know as much. I'm not inside. I'm not privy to that information. But to me, we need a guy that's gonna say, "Dolan, I got this. Let me handle it," and let Dolan chill. But you're going with the Elton Brand, Leon Rose ticket. I'm not so sure. That's going to get the job done. So to me, I would stay away from it. If you're going to go that route, go Allen Houston. Keep Scott Perry. But to me, we need somebody with some experience. And so I would say no to Elton Brand. Well, salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Could be all speculation. Could be all cap. We don't know. But I'm just saying, if it is real, I would move away from it. Obviously, we know Leon Rose and Brand have a relationship. Maybe it's a conspiracy to get Joel Embiid here eventually. Leon Rose represented Joel Embiid. Who knows? I'm just joking. But obviously, Rose and Brand have a relationship. And so I guess that's where the speculation is coming from. So we shall see. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button again for your boy. And that was on Elton Brand. So I say stay away. I'm with you above the rim. On the next topic, let's talk about my guy Bobby Portis, because it is being reported that according to New York Post, my guy Mark Berman of the New York Post has been putting together a compilation of player reviews this season for the Knicks, and he's touching on Bobby Portis. And listen, Bobby Portis has a mega impediment in his way from staying with the Knicks, and that's his contract. They overpaid him dramatically last offseason to a 2-year, $30 million deal with an option on the second year. So at $15 million a year, a lot of it, I think Berman had interviewed a GM saying that obviously it's not likely that they would bring Portis back. Now, you guys know how I feel about Portis, man. In the beginning of the season, I couldn't take him. Couldn't take the defensive lapses, couldn't take, him as a ball hog, so on and so forth. And so I was very disappointed in Portis's game. And I'm willing to let him walk, but I'm just thinking about, what are the alternatives here? Where are we going to go from shooting at the 4 spot. One thing about Portis to me is that he finished the season strong. And I think the season, it will be eventually done for the Knicks. So that's why I say he finished the season strong. And so I wouldn't, to me, like I said, they're not getting any major free agents, I don't think. You know, would it kill them to keep them with that option? Yeah, it's a lot of money. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't cry over it. It's only 1 year deal. And like I said, where's the shooting going to come from? This was Portis' stats over his last 11 games. He averaged 13.5 on 52% shooting, including 41% from downtown. If the season were over today, he'd finish in double figures, averaging 10 points a game on 45% shooting, and the only Knick to play in 66 games. So he's been durable. He's been hitting the 3. His inside game had come along too closer to the end of the season. And again, 41% from downtown last 11 games. You guys know I've been a huge Portis detractor, but I thought he started to come along closer to the end of the season. So what are the replacements? EJ1 says we can replace him easily. We talked about some options at the 4, at the stretch 4. We talked about maybe Gallinari, maybe bring Gallinari back. He'll be an unrestricted free agent. How about David Bertans? What do you guys think about David Bertans? Is Obi Toppin an option in the draft? There's a lot of different ways you can go at it. Does that mean more minutes at the 4 for Kevin Knox? Does that mean more minutes at the 4 for Iggy? Iggy, who's been beasting in the G League. Does that mean more minutes for them at the 4? What do you guys think about that? Jay Money says Porter should be starting at the 4 next to RJ instead of Randall. Fit-wise, yes. Realistically, I don't know. I'm not sure. Not so sure. But yeah, just something to think about. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Not taking any calls. I'm going to end the stream fairly soon. But those are the things I wanted to touch on and get your opinions on as we, navigate no basketball. Navigate this situation with no basketball, man. So once again, I hope you guys are being safe out there. I hope your families are healthy out there. And we had a good show last night. Salute to everybody that tuned in last night for the fan mailbag and our mellow moments. We touched on our mellow moments. So if you missed that, hit the icon at your top right-hand side of the screen and catch up on old episodes, man. We got a lot of good content for you guys out there. For anybody that's team #new, welcome to the channel. Like I said, there's a lot of content out there. We have a lot of draft content as well. We're going to continue our draft series and touch on some more prospects that we hadn't touched on previously. And so we're going to keep going, man. There's no season, but we're going to keep it rolling. Might have some more interviews lined up for you guys. So we're going to keep it moving. We're definitely going to keep it moving. So salute to everybody, wherever you guys are watching from once again. Salute to my guy, Alex Collins, man, checking in from Ireland. Andy says, great show last night. Appreciate you, Andy. You look like a new commenter, a new viewer. So welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family. And for those of you like Andy, remember this show is available in audio podcast format. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, Stitcher. So there's no excuse to miss a show, man. You don't have to always watch it on YouTube. It's always available in audio podcast format, maybe a couple hours after it goes off on YouTube. So we're here for the people, man. We will catch up with you guys. We'll do another stream later on this week and just catch up and talk it up with you guys, let you guys call in. So I'm about to get out of here. I hope you guys remember, be safe, wash your hands, stay inside, do everything that you got to do to hopefully, get this thing to pass, man. So have a good day, people. Enjoy it. Peace.